Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy Tanvir Sai, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTube content creator to remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos in this channel, and through the algorithm would also help this channel grow. I just got done watching the cutscenes of Resident Evil 4 Remake, and just for comparison purposes, the original Resident Evil 4 as well. Capcom, thank you. Thank you, Capcom. You have proven me right. You have proven me right. Capcom has proven that regardless of what the scriptwriters say, regardless of what the director says, regardless of what the actors and actresses say, Dark Side Chronicles in its entirety is not canonical. Also, Capcom has proven that this Resident Evil 4 Remake is part of a remake timeline which is different from the original timeline. Capcom has proven that, and by doing so, because I proved this the hard way, I discovered this the hard way, Capcom proved me right. Thank you, Capcom. You want to know what the proof is? The proof is Jack Krauser and how Jack Krauser was introduced in this game in the context of Operation Javier that was mentioned in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Beyond this, big spoiler alert. So if you don't want this game spoiled, please turn away and hit that like, subscribe, bell notification buttons. But if you're ready for some spoilers, stay on board. Let us begin. In the original, Krauser was introduced as Leon's ex comrade because Krauser keeps calling Leon comrade. In this one, Krauser was introduced as Leon's ex commanding officer and mentor. Both of these cannot coexist at the same time. Furthermore, in Resident Evil 4 Remake, it is revealed that Krauser's entire unit was wiped out in Operation Javier. And he found out that this is perhaps due to a betrayal by the US government, and that is why he became the bad guy here. But in the original, Krauser has shown to have some disdain for the US government, but it is his larger ambition to revive Umbrella and restore balance and order to the world that actually caused him to become the bad guy. And he was reported to be dead the same year Operation Javier happened. Okay. And if you play Dark Side Chronicles, the only thing that contains Operation Javier, there were only two people, and one of those two people were Leon Kennedy. So, what is this entire unit being wiped out nonsense? Furthermore, if Krauser's entire unit, according to Resident Evil 4 Remake, was wiped out during Operation Javier, this only means that Leon wasn't there. Otherwise, if Krauser was Leon's ex commanding officer and Leon was there, then Leon would have been dead. So either Leon was there or Leon wasn't there. Either Krauser went with an entire unit that got wiped out, or Krauser and Leon went alone for Operation Javier, and both of them survived. Both of these cannot be true at the same time. This proves that Resident Evil 4 Original and Resident Evil 4 Remake are different and they cannot coexist at the same time. Also, this further strongly indicates that Dark Side Chronicles is not canonical because Operation Javier, Manuela, or anything else never gets mentioned again in Resident Evil. This further proves that the original timeline cannot cannot coexist with the remake timeline because they report contradictory events that cannot simultaneously be true at the same time. And if someone is going to defend Dark Side Chronicles being canonical in any way, remember God of War 3, where Zeus said that perhaps you should have chosen the other one? This was proof that the next game that featured the other one, God of War Ghost of Sparta, was canonical. So, yes, games have done this before where they alluded to an upcoming game being a bridge game which is going to be canonical. Okay? Resident Evil did not do this in clear fashion. Therefore, these are the timelines for anyone confused about the timelines. Okay? There are two timelines, the original timeline and the remake timeline. Okay? The original timeline, the latest thing that happened was the DLC of Resident Evil 8. Dark Side Chronicles did not happen. The remake timeline, only Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, and Infinite Darkness. Only these five incidents happened. Nothing else. Dead Aim, Survivor, Survivor 2, Code Veronica, Degenerations, Damnation. None of this happened in the remake timeline. And if the writers or directors or anyone from the staff they state otherwise, remember Hugo Martin when he stated that Doom 2004 is canonical, or he indicated as such, where each and every piece of evidence proved otherwise. The onus is not on the consumer. The onus is on Hugo Martin to prove that Doom 2004 is canonical and how all of those contradictory pieces of evidence can be explained. Same thing with Resident Evil. Now let us move on to the review part. And let's start off with the positives. The overall observed presentation, it was good. Okay, I did not buy this game. I watched the cutscenes. And what I decided is that, I'm going to give my thoughts and like brief review of these games where I only watch the cutscenes. Okay, the presentation overall was good. The big moments, it felt very tense. It felt adrenaline rush giving. So those moments were captured very well. Next positive, the voice acting. Some of the voice acting. Sadler's voice acting is a significant improvement compared to the original. So is Sadler's voice acting, and in bits and pieces, Ashley Graham's voice acting. It's like Genevieve something, I think, is her voice actress. Luis's voice acting, it's about the same, but they gave Luis more dialogue. This was much better than the original, and it gave the voice actor a lot more flexibility to display the voice actor's skills playing Luis. So that was done very well and an improvement compared to the original. Next positive, the pacing of the game and story overall, it felt good. Okay, it felt organic. The characterizations, the character progressions, Ashley's character progression was done very well compared to the original, where in the original she actually felt like a brick. Okay. Sadler's characterization was done extremely well, and it's a significant improvement to the smug anti American communist leader that you see in Resident Evil 4, the original. Like Resident Evil 4, the original, he's cutting jokes and whatnot. Okay. In this one, he actually feels like a cult religious leader. In the original, it feels like he's playing a joke. And overall, the game, it felt darker in tone, and Los Illuminados, okay, they felt like much more of a threat compared to the original. So those were some of the positives, and overall they are major positives. Now let's go over the negatives, and the negatives are somewhat nitpicky, but given that my world revolves a bit more around sound, I was able to pick these up very quickly. Everyone else's voice acting, even Ingrid Hunnigan's voice acting was bad. Okay. Leon's voice acting, Nick, whatever his name is, it is such a disgrace. It is such a disservice to Paul Mercier. Okay. Paul Mercier's voice acting in Resident Evil 4 got Leon Kennedy in comparable territory to Solid Snake. In this one, Leon Kennedy still acts like a rookie cop. Okay, and the voice acting, man, it's just garbage from Nick, whatever his name is. Just go back and look at the dialogue. Where is everybody going? Bingo. Just compare how it was delivered by Paul Mercier and Nick, whatever his name is. Next person, Ada Wong. I had to look up this person's name because her voice acting, it's an absolute disrespect, what I feel, to Sally Cahill's performance. Okay. Ada Wong, Lily Gao's voice acting, it is just cringe. It is absolutely cringe. The interaction through voice acting between Paul Mercier and Sally Cahill, it gives you a little bit Batman Catwoman vibes. Not to that extent, because Leon S. Kennedy is not even in the vicinity of Batman's coolness factor, but there is something there. There's some similarity to be drawn upon. But when it comes to Nick, whatever his name is, and Lily Gao, it is just so unbelievably bad. Like Lily Gao sounds more like a nurse, a naughty nurse, than a femme fatale double agent or triple agent. Okay, which Ada Wong, portrayed by Sally Cahill, played beautifully in Resident Evil 4. But the biggest disappointment, the absolute biggest disappointment was Jack Krauser. Okay, Jack Krauser was just he's his voice acting was so cool in the original. Why does Jack Krauser sound like Gilbert Godfrey with laryngitis in this game? Next negative. Much of this game is too hard to see. Okay, even the parts in the castle, they're very hard to see. Okay, the original, it had suspense, it had its scary moments, but still the enemies and what you had to interact with was very well lit. I'm like, I finished Resident Evil 4 on the PS2 and separate ways. Okay, and I have light perception visual acuity. This means that intrinsically Resident Evil 4 was designed very accessibly for some people. Those people are not considered whilst developing this game. I'm sorry, but I'll have to cut some points there. Speaking of accessibility, the next negative, there are no major accessibility features. Yeah, there's some color blindness and remapping and whatnot, but the main ones for people with visual acuity issues, which are a lot of people with visual impairments, no text to speech, no navigation assist that I know of, and no skip puzzle button. These are the three main, it's almost a must have for much of these games. These were missing, and this is Capcom. This is not an indie studio that made Signalis or something. This is Capcom. Where are these features? And no, I am not going to download a DLC so that accessibility features would be behind a paywall, that I have to pay a disability tax, what I consider a disability tax, a disability fine to play a game. I am not going to do that. Next, Leon's downgrade in characterization. People, go back and watch the original. Leon starts and ends the game flirting with Hunnigan. Okay? Leon flirts with Hunnigan and also has some moments with Ashley and also Ada. This brought him in the territory of Solid Snake, the coolest Leon has ever been. Okay? Leon has shown that he has a caring side. He might be suspicious of people, but he is too battle hardened to be distracted from the task at hand. In this one, there are parts where Leon shows that he is still a rookie cop, and he's like, okay, I'm not going to let this happen again, never again, and all this thing. This time it will be better. This time it will be different. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Leon? What the hell are you talking about? Ada Wong just survived, so it can't be Ada Wong. Okay, Jack's entire unit was wiped out. This means that you were not there during Operation Javier, so it cannot be Manuela. What are you talking about? Your last biohazard was Raccoon City. And in the beginning, it's shown that he underwent Stratcom training just to drown out the memory of Raccoon City. Like, Leon is this mentally weak? Go back and watch the original. The original timeline. Detective in Resident Evil Survivor, he was sent by the request of Leon because Leon started working for the government. Bruce McGivern in Resident Evil Dead Aim is a member of Stratcom, the same unit as Leon, who went into a biohazard. So Leon is not unfamiliar with biohazards in the original, and he shows as such. Over here, Leon is still facing mental trauma. And this is a downgrade from the Leon we see who has come to terms with the world he lives in. And he is now on a mission, almost a vengeful mission, to wipe out the viruses of the face of the earth. That Leon was not there in this game. And finally, half-hearted emotional moments. Okay, you had the Ashley explanation moment where like Ashley was crying that she might hurt Leon again. And by the way, that was a good addition. That Ashley actually under Sadler's influence stabbing Leon. That was a very good addition. Okay, I really enjoyed that. Okay, but things like that. Then Luis's death scene, Krauser's death scene, so on and so forth. Okay, these emotional moments, if you're gonna do it full heartedly. Don't do it half heartedly. Go back and watch 1998, ladies and gentlemen, Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PS1. How well the emotional death scenes were made. And Metal Gear Solid 1 is a stealth action game. Okay? It's a stealth action game, but a lot of its glory comes from the delivery and the execution of said emotional death scene moments. Resident Evil 4 Remake did this half heartedly. So I have to cut some points for that. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, from what I have seen, if you don't require accessibility features, I strongly recommend you buy this game. Okay, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the cutscenes. I enjoyed the changes for the most part. I enjoyed the additional darkness for the most part. Yeah. So, yeah, thumbs up, 8 out of 10. All right, that's it for this video. Guys, let me know what you thought about this game in the comment section below. And as always, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTuber remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos in this channel. This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.